All right, what's up, everyone? Today, June 20th, second to last week of June. Everything's all good. My name is Maurice, beginner day trader. Today, I'm going to be going over my trades for this morning. Today was a basic day, but it was honestly really good. So we'll jump on over to the screen. The first stock I traded was GPUS. So GPUS was already up by the time I woke up. There wasn't really anything crazy when I woke up. So this went up because of some subsidiary in Trump coin. With meme coins, I gotta be careful because those are not really typically the best catalyst. Sometimes it can be. You know, there was one stock previously where it went up a bunch on Solana because it took a stake in it, but it was already extended. It peaked already right before the hour. It peaked at 3:50 in the morning. And I'm going to tell you where I took my trade. So if we look over here at the 1 minute chart, I took my trade right here for a loss of $10. I got in. I actually had one trade, which was $4, and then the next trade was $10. My first trade was here. Then I sold quickly. Then I added again because I was maybe thinking, since maybe after this first couple minutes, maybe this would go up. Maybe this would break towards a new high. What I was looking for was for a VWAP breakout. VWAP breakout is volume weighted average price right here where it says VWAP. So typically I like these types of breakouts because you can see really, really good moves. This already had news. This met all of the 5 stock criteria. The only issue was this was that look, the double topped here, so that was a sign of resistance to be looking out for. I was hoping for possible breakout past those levels and maybe retesting these new highs at 316. Likely I would have already sold here and bailed out kind of early because I'm not going to take my chances. It's already, we're not going to take too much risks today. We had a really great week. We're going to keep that way. So I took a trade here, got in for $4, $4 profit. Then the second trade, I was hoping for a breakout here. So you can see here in the volume candle, increasing green candle is typically good. So if we look at the previous pattern over here, you see how the green candle volume over here was slowly increasing. This maybe would have been a good spot. Somewhere around here would likely be a good spot to trade in and get out probably here. I was hoping for a retest of that because typically at the hour there is there are traders that get in and spikes up the stock for a bit. Sometimes it could flush. It did flush. Look, at 7 a.m. it went up and then flushed immediately the next minute. I got out for a loss of $10. I'm okay with that. Hey, I took my loss. That was okay. Took my loss. I was like, okay, no biggie. The next stock I traded was going to be JFBR. JFBR, this is a stock that went on previously. Honestly, I had a low float. I love these lower float stocks. It was a bit pricier. I wasn't really expecting a really big move. I honestly gave up a lot of profit off the table. I'm just going to show you the 10-second chart for time's sake. So I see this right here. It's popping up, goes down. I'm like, I'm not sure about this. You have to make sure the volume's confirmed. Look at the volume. Look at how light the volume is. 2,000, 6,000. 3,000, 4,000. Very light volume. You need to start seeing like 20,000, 50,000, like increasing volume. I didn't take my first trade around here, around 740-ish, 750. I got out right here, 790. I got out really early. I got in for a win of $47. I could have held a little bit longer. Maybe take another position. I do have enough size now to take another position, so that's something. Bought here on the dip, and then it rips over to 879. So had I held maybe like not even maybe a couple seconds, just 20 more seconds, I would have already profited over 100. But the thing is, I have to get good at holding something that may break out. What I was starting to see was some sort of rejection. I mean, I thought we were going to flush here. To me, I saw this candle and then boom, this candle. I was like, okay, this is not really a pullback. This isn't really a micro pullback, if anything. Micro pullback is typically smaller. This had the same amount of green volume, so I wasn't really trusting this. But hey, it ran up without me, and it is what it is. I made profit. So that was the next trade, and then it unwinded after the open. Yeah, as you can see here, did make some pushes higher. It did go down, consolidate down, then it reversed. So this would potentially be good right here to possibly get in after it peaks at a top. Tops, you want to look for the MACD crossover. You see how it's already crossing over? On the 1 minute, it might show something a little bit different. It's a bit zoomed in. This is 10 seconds more for precise entrance. 1 minute is looking at a bigger picture at a whole. So as you can see, this began to cross over at the MACD 720. 720, the MACD was open on the 1 minute. But you see how this is up, right? The MACD is still open, but you're going to get in really high. So if you get in 935, you're honestly going to lose. So you have to look for signs of, reversal, especially on the 1 minute. Look at the 1 minute for signs of reversal. Don't really take a look at the 10 seconds for reversal. You can get some quick profits, but 1 minute's typically better for bigger moves. Because look, 24,000, 56,000, 186K of volume, then it sells off. So where in here would you enter actually? Honestly, what I would look for is entrance here. This is a doji candle in the middle of the trend. This is a little bit tricky. This might cause some fear. You might be like, oh shit, it might not go through. So this is a little bit tricky. This is not really easy to trade. I think this is pretty choppy. It's honestly, ideally, I don't think I would have traded there, but I'm looking for this pattern, this specific candle, and the MACD is positive. Since the MACD is positive, I would feel comfortable holding for a little bit longer. If it was right here, I'm not taking any trades here. You need to make sure it's still open because it's likely, obviously, people are going to take profit, and then it'll spike up again. So it did push up a little bit higher for a new high, but really it rejected around 950. So that's the resistance. Hey, we got to win on that. Then my last trade on the day was AIFF. AIFF, this traded on news. So we'll get stock quote. I'm going to go down here. So 745, they uncover a new powerful way of measuring SCD, MCI, and dementia. I don't know, but in Alzheimer's patients. So I guess it's something good for humanity, you would hope. Typically, even if the headline looks good, remember, the stock market does not care. If you think it looks good because based on the news that, oh, it's talking about cancer, oh, it's talking about diabetes, and you have to confirm the volume. But I would say if I see a stock with a really good headline with a really common disease like diabetes, obesity, GLP-1 drugs, like anything that has to do with Ozempic, Wegovy, or Mounjaro and Zepbound, anything that has to do with that, or new developments of, new trials of weight loss drugs, I think those are really good to look out for. I work in healthcare. Those drugs are going to go up a lot. Especially if there's new ones. If there's new drugs on the market and maybe a particular stock or maybe a particular pharmaceutical company goes up on news because they're developing a new drug, I think that could be really good, but you have to confirm the volume. So right here, you see how light the volume is? You can't really, you can anticipate it. You can, but you're risking a lot when you don't confirm the volume. I honestly left a lot more money on the table. I saw this pop up. I needed to confirm the volume. I got in around here, and I sold around here. Quick $20. I got in at 360 and sold out for like 380. It was $20. Very easy, and I was like, you know what? I'm done for the day. I had already used up my funds anyways. My account is up at 1,700 cash, so it's really good. So really quick trades. I really didn't, stay too long. Obviously, when I have more size, I'm gonna stay longer because I need to capture all moves. But what I typically like to try to do, especially on the stronger moves, I want to use most of my size. I want to capture the most amount of profit that I can for that particular stock within reason. Obviously, if it's still meeting criteria of being traded continuously. But honestly, I like to kind of get in early. I like to be done no later than 5 a.m. because I'm really tired. 4 a.m. is pretty early for me. But I've been doing this every day. I'm used to it, honestly. But honestly, when I have more size, obviously I got to spread it out. So the game plan for today was to start off light. I had the first stock as an icebreaker. It was lost. So not ideal, but that's okay. You got to, just keep your stress. Keep a stress reliever. I'm telling you, keep a stress reliever because you're going to be fucking stressed one day. And you're going to be like, fuck, I can't get anything. But trust me on this Squishy Bear 5 and below, it's just super addicting. I don't know what it is. It's just really good. But yeah, I was being patient today. I lost the first trade, but then the next 2 trades I won, and I profited pretty well. Not pretty well. I would say it'd be a base hit. Now I think this would be a new base hit, which was $56 on the day. So we'll look here at our report, $56.99. To me, I think this is a really good base hit, and I think my base hit now has increased from $20 to $50. This is base hit. This is a little bit between base hit. Really good day was Wednesday, June 18th, the best day. I'm not going to hunt down for trades like this. I'm going to switch over to the camera. All right. I'm going to tell you right now, as a beginner day trader, do not hunt for the profit. You need to hunt for the best trade. You're not going to win. You're not going to do good by wanting to get like 200 on the day. It's never going to happen. You got to look for the best trade. Ross always says, the profit is a byproduct of your good trades. I've been looking for the best trades I can, and this is my byproduct right here. We'll go back. This is the byproduct of what we're seeing from how I'm trading. Yeah, this was a miss. This was also a miss, but fine. So what are we going to do going into next week? So next week, what I feel like I'm going to do is obviously take a light, give myself a little bit of an icebreaker like I did today, slowly pick things back up on Tuesday and Wednesday. If I feel very bullish about a stock, especially if it has really big news, and I see that has good news, especially if the float is very low, anything under 1 million, if it's under 1 million, if it's cheap, especially if it's cheap, I'm going to take advantage, and I'm going to, put my foot on the gas, and I'm going to go. But I'm also going to recognize, like, maybe today for me wasn't really a home run day, and I was okay with that. I didn't want to lose. I lost $10, but I made $56.99. Better payoff. What does this put us towards? This puts us at $861 on the month, and that's really, really good. I think we're going to be over our goal by the end of the month. I'm actually going to pay myself, finally. I've been wanting to pay myself for the purpose of using the day trade dash. So either tomorrow, I know I said last week I was going to do it, but either tomorrow or Sunday, ideally tomorrow, I'm going to go over day trade dash. I'm going to go over the pricing. I think it's worth it, but I'm going to go over a full breakdown detail on how to use this, how I set my setup, and what I feel like is ideal. Right now, I'm only working with 2 monitors, I have my laptop screen and I have a monitor. I would ideally like another monitor, but right now it's not really ideal. I don't have that much space, but I will eventually get some when I move out. Maybe one more. I'm going to go over this, layout, how I have it laid out, and then I'm also going to go over the layout for the charting, if I can get to it. I'm going to go over the layout for this. Honestly, I just use WT default Ross. This is the best default you need. This is what you need. And honestly, I think it would be very helpful. I'm going to, attach the link in the description on where to sign up for Ross's, day trade dash, how to log in. Well, not how to log in. It's really easy. Just email and password. But just his website. So that way you guys have an idea of where to go. And I'll likely, if he uploads before me, I'm going to just, tag his most recent video at the end of my video for tomorrow. So that way you guys can, segue into his video. But that's it for today. Honestly, June has been a blessing. I know the momentum is going to go up. I'm also may create like a video on how I changed my mindset with trading. I catch myself saying, hey, if I get this, if I do this, no, you gotta like change your mindset. It's not gonna be if, it's like when I will profit, and I will, do so and so. It's kind of programming your brain. I have this really good book. I'm probably gonna briefly highlight it, and maybe in a future video. I think it can change your guys' mindset. Typically, we have negative mindsets, and it's called What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Shad Helmstetter. Really great book. Highly recommend it. I think it's very applicable to day trading. So many days you're going to tell yourself, I'm such a shit trader. I'm not good. There's so many days where I'm like, can I really do this? It got really negative. There are nights where I would come back to practice, and I would just sit there and just on the way home, like, fuck, I lost money today. But no, I told myself this year is where I'm going to change things, and this is how I'm going to make my break. And I want you guys to see too. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and hopefully I can get that video in tomorrow, but see ya.